There are many ways people can mismanage their finances, but here are some of the most common mistakes I see as a certified financial planner. Number one is not creating a cash flow plan or a budget. Without a cash flow plan, it is very difficult to track your income and expenses and to make informed financial decisions. Your first cash flow plan does not have to be fancy. You can simply take out a yellow pad and paper and write down how much money you take home after taxes, write down your expenses right next to that, and then subtract your expenses from your income. If that number is positive, then you should take a portion of that money and put that towards your long-term savings goals each month. If that number is negative, then you may have to reevaluate your expenses or focus on increasing your income. Being cash flow negative will end up badly for you at some point. Number two, not saving for emergencies. You will have an emergency at some point in your life. And if you have an emergency and you have the money to pay for it, then they simply become events. Having money saved is one of the most important things you can do for a secure financial future and to set yourself up for a stress-free life. It's important to have an emergency fund in case of unexpected expenses such as car repair bills or medical bills. Without one, you may turn to high-interest credit cards or loans to cover these costs, which can keep you in a downward financial spiral. If you don't have at least 3 months of expenses saved, that should be your first financial goal. Start by opening a high-interest savings account that is separate from the checking account you use on a daily basis. And I highly recommend that you automate monthly deposits to that high-interest checking account until you reach your 3-month savings goal. Number 3, carrying high credit card balances. Mark Cuban said, if you carry a credit card balance, you don't want to be wealthy. And I agree with him. It should be a must to pay off your credit cards in full each month. If you find yourself continuously carrying a credit card balance, that tells me you're not managing your money well, and you should go back to number 1 and create a cash flow plan. Number 4, not investing for the future. It is so important to save and invest for the long term, especially for retirement or financial independence. There's no reason why anybody in the US outside of uncontrollable sickness or disability should retire broke. If you started saving and investing at least 10% of everything you've made since your first job until your retirement age, you will be able to retire financially independent very comfortably. People always find a reason to say they can't do it, but no one else is going to save for you. You must take responsibility. I recommend you take a portion of everything that you make before you spend anything and pay yourself first. A good place to start is signing up for your company's 401k, especially if you get a match. If not, you can start with an account called a traditional IRA or a Roth IRA and invest in low-cost ETFs or index funds. Aim to start with at least 10% of everything you make and increase that number annually until you're saving at least 20% of your income. By saving around 10 to 20% of your income, you should be on track for your financial goals long term. Finally, the 5th mistake I see people make, and one of the biggest, is not seeking financial advice. People are so hesitant to reach out to seek financial advice for many reasons. It could be embarrassment, it could be that they're shy, but there's so many good financial planners, financial coaches, or maybe even a trusted friend or family member that's financially successful. However, seeking out financial advice could be one of the best things you ever do for yourself. If you don't have anybody in your life that you can speak to, then we'd be more than happy to have a chat with you. You can go to keepitsimplefinancial.com and schedule an appointment there. If you have any other questions, feel free to reach out and we're happy to help.